When it comes to analyzing your AdWords performance, there are lots of data points to look at, lots of metrics to look at. But which are the key metrics, the ones to really focus on? Well, I've got a half dozen that I'm going to tell you about. First off, you want to look at impressions. An impression is simply the number of times that your ad was displayed. The higher your impressions, the more impressions you have, the more people who saw your ad. Obviously, you have a better chance of getting them to click on your ad if they see it. So you want to generate a high impressions rate. Then we want to look at clicks. Okay, somebody sees your ad, what happens next? They click on it. So the more clicks, the better. So we want to look at impressions, we want to look at clicks, and then we look at the two together in something called the click-through rate, or CTR. The click-through rate is simply clicks divided by impressions. It tells you what percent of people who saw your ad are clicking the ad. I mean, you can have a lot of impressions, but if nobody clicks, you've got a low click-through rate, your ad isn't very effective. So you want to try and maximize your click-through rate. Another metric that I like to look at if I'm running a group of ads is to look at the percent of clicks served. Basically, what this tells you is when you're looking at a group of ads, which of those ads perform better than the others? Which had the higher percent of clicks served within the group? So if you have, let's say, a half dozen ads running in an ad group, and one of them gets 50% of the clicks served and the others only get 10%, well, you know that one ad is outperforming the other ads. It's doing something right, the others are doing something wrong. It tells you a lot about ad effectiveness. Speaking of effectiveness, when it comes to keywords, we want to look at average position. What this means is when someone searches for one of the keywords you purchased on Google and generates your ad, it triggers the ad to be displayed on the search results page. Where on the search results page was it displayed? Was it displayed at the top of the page or at the bottom of the page or on the second or third or fourth page of results? You know, obviously the higher the average position, the more people who will see your ad and will therefore click on it. So position is very, very important. But for that matter, so is cost. You generally pay for position. And even though you bid a certain amount, a maximum bid amount on a particular keyword, you don't always have to pay that maximum. So you want to, when you're looking at the reports, you want to look at the cost per keyword, cost for each keyword. So that's going to tell you what you're really paying for the position you're getting. And finally, if you're doing something with your ads, if you're trying to generate a response, if you're trying to sell a product or get someone to sign up for a subscription or enter their information, well, then you're interested in conversions. That is, how many people who clicked on your ad converted to the behavior you wanted. How many clicks you converted to sales, for example. So there are all sorts of conversion metrics, conversions, cost per conversion, conversion rate, that sort of thing. If you're really interested in converting into sales or converting into some other action, you want to look at conversions as one of your key metrics.